One of the big things for the freshmen incoming is, do I take AP or honors or grade level? How do you decide which level to do?
My sisters are freshmen this year, so when I was advising them last year, I said just try the harder class. You can drop down if it's too much, and I think oftentimes you'll find that kids are able to push through and learn to adapt to the new high school setting and work harder. That first AP class gave me like a really strong foundation about how to study, and having that class to really study and work hard freshman year prepared me for the years to come.
In middle school, I had kind of already been on that track and been doing well. So my mindset was kind of like, why not try? I feel like if you can't stick it out, that's okay. You can drop to regular and that's totally fine. But if you can, it really does give you a foundation of studying that will help you not only with history classes in the future, but any like hard classes you choose to take in general.
Like going through that class was a real pain, to be honest. The note taking and
It was
the
a lot.
and the change from
was a lot, yeah.
middle school, it was a lot. But reflecting back, it was really interesting. If you just try, there's always time to change the schedule. I know you give us a couple months to drop down or switch out.
My freshman year, I only took one AP, and that was AP Art History. I think that was a good balance for me because I was also playing basketball. And then my other years, just like if I was passionate about that like subject, I would do honors. But if I wasn't, I didn't do honors.
My parents wanted me to do what was best for me, but I wanted to take all honors and all APs. So freshman year, and I mean every year of high school, and my junior year I was in 6 APs. I'm in 5 now, and I would not advise that. If I'm being frank, I don't think that's the best. It works to an extent, but I'm also on our varsity drill team here, and I'm involved in different clubs, and it's also important to have a social life and to be a kid. And so if you're making decisions about which classes to take, I think it's really important that you're not just taking an honors or an AP because it's an honors or an AP. If it's interesting to you, like what Addie said, then take it, but it's not worth losing that much sleep over.
The transition was a lot harder than I expected. You don't want to kind of stack yourself with too many APs early on, so you have like time outside of school to focus on things that you like, especially when Westlake has like so many extracurriculars. Like you really got to balance your time.
I think there was a lot of stress like coming into my freshman year, like doing basketball. A lot of my teammates were like, I'm doing 5 APs this year. I was like, okay, I'm definitely not taking enough. But at the end, like now that I'm a senior, I'm like, I was perfectly fine taking 2 or 3 APs or not at all. So I think really it's whatever suits you. And I started taking some APs and then I was like, I know this isn't for me and I'm not gonna have the time for this. And I dropped out and did regular and I was just fine.
I chose not to take all APs and all honors every year just because I wanted to have a healthy balance of just like social life and being able to have some time after I get home to just relax. But I would say if it interests you, I'd say definitely take the more challenging class. But if not, then it's just going to be miserable.
In the syllabus for all the APs, it's like, it talks about time, like if you're going to be at school, take this course. If you're not, don't take it. So to me, I took that like, no thanks. I'm not going to be at school enough to like hurt myself in a class. Like I'd rather be successful in an honors class or like a on-level class rather than like trying to stick it out for an AP. It's not always the best decision.
Finding that balance of there's only 24 hours a day, and if you're involved in volleyball, film, band, dance, robotics, you only have so many hours. You got to find that balance, and at some point you got to eat and sleep.
Yeah.
I would say a big thing for me was just establishing a routine and learning how to study. I remember my freshman year, I took AP Human Geography, and I did not do well in that class because I didn't know how to study. But after that, after I establish a routine, like as soon as I get home, I'm getting my homework out of the way, and then I can do things that I want to do. I think that really helped me figure out the routine and the studying, and after that, it was just kind of cruising through.
Learning those habits.
Exactly.
Routine. Like you said, routine, I think that's a great word for it. Okay, so looking back to freshman year, with what you know now, what advice would you give freshmen that you wish you had gotten coming in?
That it's not a blow-off year. You definitely need to study, turn in your work. It is important for your GPA and getting into college, but also to have fun and make memories, make new friends.
There's so many more people now that it's not just like however many there is in your middle school grade. Like you can branch out. There's so many like new friend groups you can meet. There's so many new people. And I think just like enjoying that.
Looking back to me when I was a freshman, I would say, even though you don't know anyone there and it's a really big school, go out of their shell and just like make friends. I just love Westlake, and so I'm pretty sure you guys will too.
There's a lot more kids than in a middle school, so you can really find a group of people that is like you. And there's so many opportunities for sports and clubs. Everyone here is really nice. It's a very supporting community, and it just feels like a good place to be.
Yeah, I mean, go to games, join clubs. That's a big thing. There's a lot of clubs. If there isn't one you like, then you should make one because you can. It's always an option.
So I'm hearing is be a part of the community and then
Be
and add to the
involved.
community
Right.
too with if there's other opportunities. I mean, yeah, I think we've got I want to say it's like 180 clubs this year.
Yeah. That's
It's
crazy.
just nuts. Yeah, because you can find one. If not, start one.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely have a lot more freedom with what you choose to take. And so I would advise people to take things they're genuinely interested in, not just to AP stack or to get that GPA boost, to just genuinely care about the learning, not so much about the grades, because no matter what, you'll end up where you're supposed to be.
Take things that you're not going to be able to do later on in life. Like business incubator was like a great class for me because I got to work on a team and do stuff that I may never get to do again. So like going out of your comfort zone is really important.
With such a multitude of options for electives that you can take at the school, it's so incredible because I've taken so many classes that are really pertinent to what I want to do. So like AP Psych and Sociology and Child Development. And I, through mentorship, like Addie mentioned, I got to work with a corporate lawyer. And so there's such like a plethora of options that you have. And so it makes it really easy to kind of solidify what you want to do or to figure out classes that maybe weren't as interesting to you. And then that's a career that you would not be interested in going in.
After taking some of the hardest classes, I realized that I didn't really have a schedule that I enjoyed to be in. I didn't have many friends. So I think just keeping in mind your interest is first priority.
Now, since you're in high school, you have to start becoming your own independent person. So you're the one that has to email the teacher being like, hey, I missed this. What are we doing?
I was always embarrassed when my mom would try to email my teachers for me or try to check up on my grades for me. And I think that freshman year is a time to take those things into your own responsibility. It's not necessarily all about the parents anymore because Westlake and all your teachers and the counselors are trying to teach, especially freshmen, these core foundational skills of advocating for yourself and being responsible for yourself and knowing to check your grades and knowing when you have a club meeting.
And you figure things out as you go. And I also think it's really important to know that you can ask for help. Like your teachers, they want to support you. You're not expected to understand something immediately or to know how to study. You know, it's very different from middle school. So like I mentioned earlier, trial and error, but also do not be afraid to ask for help and give yourself grace.
I would kind of say the same thing. I would say don't stress so much about your freshman year, especially because that's your period of growth. Like colleges know that, everybody knows that. It's your time where you're adjusting to a new environment and like new classes. Another thing I want to add is like, I think something that can be hard for both parents and students is comparison. I would try your best really to just focus on your own like achievements and what you actually want to do. Like I have an older brother and he was very high achieving, and so at times it was easy for me to be like, "Oh, I need to do this like him, I need to do this." But it's important to carve your own path because like everyone is meant to do their own thing and have different strengths. So I would definitely say like focus on your own journey.
All right, I appreciate you guys. I'm excited for y'all. Can y'all do me a favor to hit them with a Go Chaps?
Go Chaps.
Go Chaps.
Go Chaps!
Go Chaps!
Go Chaps!